Ready?
Okay.
Hi, this is... Okay. Hi, I'm Supriya and welcome to ATF Mahjongg. ATF stands for All Things Favorite. This is an international or Western method and we play lots of variations. Let me take you through the basics of the game, where I will start with introduction of the tiles. So let's focus here. We have 3 suits in Mahjong. Just like in cards you would have 4 suits, you have 3 in Mahjong. You will go by the shape. So when you see circle shapes, this is the circle suit. When you see shapes that are like bamboos, this is the bamboo suit. When you see shapes which are characters, like a Chinese character, this is the character suit. Okay, so we have 3 suits: circles, characters, and bamboos. All right, now moving on, this is a Chinese game. We all know it's an ancient Chinese game. So we will of course have dragons as well. Dragons will go typically by colors. Okay, so you could focus here. This is the red dragon, this is the white dragon, and this is the green dragon. All right, so we have 3 dragons in Mahjong. Next, Mahjong is also called game of winds. Winds as in directions, which is very, very important in the game. So we have, I mean, it's easy to guess. N is north, east, west, and south. All right, these are your wind tiles. You can focus here. Next, we have flowers. Everything that looks flowery, these are the flower tiles, which will be numbered 1 to 4. Okay, and the last and the fun tile is the joker or the wild tile. Now, there are just 3 terms I want you to remember before we can start with the game. One is called a pung, P-U-N-G, pung, right? This will be very useful for you when you are playing a game called goulash. Under Mahjong, you have 2 main games. One is goulash and the other is hands. Under hands, you have limit hands and half limit hands. So more about that later. So please remember, 3 of a kind is called a pung. That was a pung of 7 characters. This was a pung of 7 bamboo, and this is a pung of 7 circle, as you can see. Okay, now if I make a 4 of a kind, which is this, we call this a kong, right? So you've learned about pung, and this is kong, 4 of a kind. Now, one last thing I want you to learn is a chow. So a chow is nothing but a sequence, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a chow, right? You have pung, kong, and chow. This is a clean chow, but we also have something called as a mixed chow. A mixed chow would be where you will have 1 of each suit. So if you have 1 bamboo, you have 2 of characters, and you have 3 of circle, so making it a mixed chow. This would be your mixed chow. Okay, last thing, this is very, very important. This is the wind dice. So when you sit down, typically you are 4 players playing Mahjong, right? So when you sit down, each one of us rolls the dice. Whoever gets the highest gets to be east first. So that person has to display the east dice on their rack. Now, if that person is east, that automatically makes the opposite person west, and the person on the right south, and the left north. It's not by the compass. So the way we remember is every sexy woman knows, or eat soup with noodles, anti-clockwise. Remember, Mahjong is always played anti-clockwise. So you must remember what wind you are, because it's very, very important. Now, each game, the wind travels. After we finish one game, the wind will move to the next player to your right hand side. So then this person becomes east, and so on. Once the wind has traveled the whole circle and come back to that person who started, the table wind changes. So the table wind will stay the same until 4 games, right? So for the first 4 games, the table is east wind, and after that, the table for the next 4 games, table will be south wind, west, and north. All right. I think that's it. The last thing is, of course, the beautiful fishing. What is the fishing used for? When you're about to win, when you're just one tile away from winning, you need to always warn the other players. You need to put this up on your rack and say, I'm fishing. Without saying you're fishing, you will not be able to go Mahjong. Okay? Thank you.